Today, I want to do one of my favorite daily activities. Go look at things on anti-work. I absolutely love like the text messages from crazy bosses and stuff like that on there. They make some bomb-ass memes, dude. I discovered it was no longer there, which got me leading into a rabbit hole. I ended up tweeting asking if anyone knew what's going on. Luckily for me, someone left a really thought out reply on what was going on. A mod from the Reddit did an interview on Fox. After a majority of the sub agreed there should be no media or press interaction. And they fucking bombed. They made statements inconsistent with a movement at large, made no attempt to be presentable, and when they got called on it, they claimed the sub was being brigaded and started swinging around the ban hammer. That didn't stop the outcry, so they set the entire sub to private. So after getting these replies on Twitter, I knew I had to see the video myself.
This anti-work group.
Hell yeah. We got to 1.6 million members. He's already bemused.
The amount of work that people feel like they're forced to do, and so we want to still put in effort, we want to put in labor, but we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You know, you just quoted from Office Space where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think we're calling for a society where there's less of that.
And this is why I love anti-work. So anti-work to me, and it does have a different meanings to several different people. Anti-work to me basically stands for asking for better workers' rights. We were talking about like nurses, for example. They should be getting the supplies they need for their job, for one. Two, they should be making more money. They provide a very valuable service to like humankind in general. People shouldn't be needing to work like 5 jobs just to pay their rent. Stuff like that. That's what anti-work means to me. I think this might be like a classic case of like, oh, I'm just gonna stay silent so they can mess up sort of situation. Now, while I do agree anti-work is a movement and it's a good one, certain people don't see it that way, and he's obviously one of them.
But we don't want to necessarily be in a position where we feel trapped. You know, you just quoted from Office Space where that person feels very trapped in their job. I think
Office Space is a wonderful movie, by the way. Should definitely watch it. Don't touch my stapler.
Calling for a society where there's less of that.
So Doreen, you're not being forced to work. This isn't slave labor. You've applied for a job. You've agreed to the terms and conditions of the employment, and you know you can walk away from that job at any time and quit. So
I highly disagree with this. Okay, so first of all, we just recently had a case, I think it was in Missouri, where a hospital worker got a new job at a different hospital. And the hospital they were working at got the court involved, and they actually signed an order that those workers could not continue at the next job until the previous employer agreed to it. Now that did get overturned after it had went through court. So it had went through court, it was good for like a day or two, and then it got repealed. Another point disagreeing with this is, let's say that you have 2 kids and you're trying to provide for them, or even simpler than that. I don't want people to get conflated with like the whole, well, you should have had kids if you can't afford them sort of thing. Let's say you're taking care of your grandmother. You're helping pay for bills, you're helping stuff, you're helping like, you know, around the house. You're taking on 2 jobs now, both basically full-time, working 80 hours a week at near minimum wage levels. At those ranges, you could be banking roughly around, let's say 50K a year. And 50K is being generous for lots of parts of America. You are what you would call a wage slave. This means that you are trapped with low pay and you can't just quit because you have to take care of things. Sometimes people get stuck in circumstances outside of their control and there's just nothing they can do about it. You need to have sympathy for this kind of situation. This is why anti-work caught on so much. Between employers just not paying enough, not keeping up with inflation, overwork, not being able to afford rent. Anti-work is about giving more power to the worker. At least to me. That's what it meant to me.
I think one of the
What do you
issues
think
with
is like a
modern work-
good work day? How many hours is you know,
They're definitely trying to do the whole let them speak to their like own death kind of thing right here. I mean, it's on them for not explaining themselves clearly and decisively, to be honest.
a solid work day in your ideal
Right.
society?
Sure. I mean, I think as much as people want. I mean, I personally work. I have like a 20-25 hour work weeks, which I think is fairly good.
How
I
old
find a
are
lot of
you, if you don't mind me asking?
I do mind him asking because he's being super judgmental. Now, that might not have been a great answer, and that's definitely not a good representative case for a lot of people inside of anti-work. A lot of people in the anti-work are just like me. People that have self-made themselves. Other people might have went to college. But I work full-time hours, I taught myself everything, and I make great money. That doesn't mean I'm standing against the individual worker for getting paid more.
Sure, I'm 30.
You're 30. Okay. And is
Jesse here is virtue signaling to his audience.
To you know,
Teach.
work with people and
Well-
stuff like that.
I paused at a great frame there.
teach, Doreen?
Philosophy mostly. Just
Philosophy.
introduction to philosophy, critical thinking, reason, stuff like
There it comes again. That fucking smug ass smile of his.
that.
But a professor's a very similar schedule than something that you're imagining. So I think that actually might work perfectly for you. Listen,
You know what? That is a fair point on his side. Maybe that's why he smiled, actually. I don't want to assume evilness where I shouldn't be. This is a topic that gets me riled up. I'll be honest. This is a topic that gets me riled up. His smile there might have been just because they said, oh, I like working 25 hours a week. And that's definitely not a professor's schedule.
I think this might not be the greatest idea, but who am I to judge? To each their own, they say. It's a free country.
Sure.
They need to stop moving in their chair. They're swirling around like they've taken way too much sugar for the day.
Not
Yeah,
everything's free,
you know.
but it is a free country. Thank you so much. We
Sure.
got to run. We got to pay the bills. Over 1.
Of course they end with that. I've been on this platform for 9 years now. This is without a doubt the most Reddit video I've ever seen. This statement right here is agreeing with the information I had earlier that I did not get to see. Apparently they had an egotistical meltdown. Doreen could have done way better in this video. A good answer to what is anti-work about? It's not about being lazy. Pro workers' rights. People knowing their true value and being paid a living wage. Doreen's answer? Laziness is a virtue. I feel like a lot of people would agree with me on this. That is what anti-work was about. That's what it was about to me. They did not present their information of what anti-work was about well. I hope I explained what anti-work was to me and to a lot of other people pretty well compared to how Doreen explained it. Please ask in the comments. I will gladly answer anything. Hello there. I hope you enjoyed my video. If you did, it would mean the world to me if you shared it and subscribed. Thank you.